read this thing. This handwriting is not good. I don't understand anything here. What did the doctor say? And she told me what the doctor said. And jokingly, I said to her, the doctor didn't put it there. I put it there. And when I put it, it was inside the womb and not outside the womb. I'm not talking to somebody here. And she said, you joke over everything, you laugh over everything. I said, this one is not a joke. And then I turned and looked at her, and then I said, then what do you want to do? And she replied me, saying, nothing will flush my baby. I said, now you have caught the spirit. We went to the altar of God. We call on the God of Ayo Orisa Jaffa. We drop our seed on the altar. To cut the long story short, in the same hospital, by the same gynecologist, my wife delivered our baby safe and sound. Whose report will you believe? And that day when I went to the hospital and they say your wife has delivered, I said, where are they? Say, in the ward. When I went to the ward, I saw my baby and I had appetite to eat. I went to the canteen to eat, and here was the doctor sat down and was eating rice with a bottle of Coke. As soon as he saw me, he said, Pastor, you're here? I said, yes, I'm here. I said, now, Doc, what do you have to say about this matter? He says, the doing of the Lord. Look at your neighbor. Tell your neighbor, God is overturning in your favor. I don't like that. You must turn to the next one. Tell him, neighbor, God will overturn it in your favor. If you believe that, shout that amen 3 times. Their God, they shall be strong, and they shall do exploits. We were building, they brought juju, came and dropped at the foundation. They know they fear pot with some funny things inside, egg inside, a core inside, cola nut inside, all kinds of funny things, and then palm oil inside. They came and dropped it at the site. The workers came, they didn't walk. They called me, say, Papa, you need to come. I said, what is the problem? He said, you need to come. Somebody brought juju and came and dropped at the site. I said, remove it and do your work. They said, no, sir, you need to come. Then they go church, but then they fear. I got to the site. I said, where is it? They showed me the pot. I carried the pot, remove those 2 eggs, and call one of my daughters, say, take, go and fry this egg for me. Get me a gigi bread with a bottle of Amstel malt. May God bless this wizard that brought breakfast for me this morning. Am I talking to somebody here? Am I talking to somebody here? Ye are gods. You can't be the son of word of life and riches will harass you. For what? They know this here. Tonight I will be brief, but we are going to pray. Any evil mark they have branded you with that makes you vulnerable to the wickedness of life, if your amen can be the loudest, that mark is removed out of your body. Go with me quickly to the book of Genesis chapter 4. I read from verse 10. Genesis chapter 4. I read from verse 10. And in the process of time, it came to pass that Cain brought up the fruit of the ground, an offering unto the Lord. Verse 4. And Abel, he also brought up the firstlings of his flock, and of the fat thereof. And the Lord had respect unto Abel and to his offering. Jump down to verse 10. Jump to verse 10. Genesis 4:10. And he said, what hast thou done? The voice of thy brother's blood crieth unto me from the ground. Verse 11. And now art thou cursed from the earth, which had opened her mouth to receive thy brother's blood from thy hand. Verse 12, quickly. When thou tillest the ground, it shall not henceforth yield unto thee her strength. A fugitive and a vagabond shalt thou be in the earth. Verse 13, quickly. And Cain said unto the Lord, my punishment is greater than I can bear. Behold, thou hast driven me out this day from the face of the earth, and from thy face shall I be hid. And I shall be a fugitive and a vagabond in the earth. And it shall come to pass that everyone that findeth me shall slay me. In other words, add this one to the cause. And the Lord said unto him, therefore, whosoever slayeth Cain, vengeance shall be taken on him sevenfold. And the Lord set a mark upon Cain, lest any finding him should kill him. And God set a mark on Cain. And God set a mark on Cain. Ezekiel chapter 9 and verse 4. Ezekiel chapter 9 and verse 4. Ezekiel 9 and 4. Jesus, I give you praise. And the Lord said unto him, go through the midst of the city, through the midst of Jerusalem, and set a mark upon the foreheads of the men that sigh and that cry for all the abominations that be done in the midst thereof. Verse 5. And to the others he said in my hearing, go ye after him through the city and smite. Let not your eyes fear, neither have ye pity. Verse 6. Slay utterly old and young, both maids and little children and women, but come not near any man upon whom is the mark, and begin at my sanctuary. Then they began at the ancient men which were before the house. Lastly, Galatians chapter 6 and verse 17. Galatians chapter 6 and verse 17. Everybody, I want you to read with me as loud as you can. 1, 2, 3, go. From henceforth, I can hear you. Read it as loud as you can. 1, 2, 3, go. From henceforth, let no man trouble me, for I bear in my body Father, glorify your name. Touch my tongue with a coal of fire from your altar. I minister tonight under the grace you have put upon our Father. Papa Ayo Risajafo. Let the oppressed be delivered. Let the sick be healed. Let devils hear my voice and run out of their hidings. And let ancient demonic yokes be broken from their lives. I vow to give you alone the glory. For in Jesus' mighty name we pray. And everybody shout a big amen. Wiping out evil marks is what I intend to use as my subject tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, marks are very, very symbolic. Marks are very spiritual. Marks are very powerful. In the realm of the spirit, marks are used for identification and for recognition. Marks are so powerful that God uses marks. Satan also uses marks. If you don't understand the strength of marks, let me give you an example. Someone is building a house. A friend of mine bought a piece of land and decided to build a house. He bought all the materials needed for the building. The roofing sheets, all the trailers of granite, the sharp sands, all the iron rods that were needed, the planks. He bought all the materials needed for the building. And then the construction work began. When the building got to a certain level, suddenly some people came from the state government and put a mark of X on the building with red paint. As soon as the mark came on the building, the project had to stop. Not because there was no money, not because the materials were not there. Everything was intact, but the mark on the building says stop. God said to his friend Abraham, he said, I want to go extra mile with you. I want our relationship to become that of a friend and a friend. He said, but there's something you will do for me. I want you to put a mark on your life. Get in your closet and circumcise yourself. Cut off your foreskin, which is a sign of my mark on you. And not only you, but all your children and your children's children's children, till the ends of the earth. Mark themselves. Till today, people circumcise their son to put the mark of the Abrahamic covenant. Am I talking to somebody here? That was why God was angry with Simeon and Levi. And you all know the story of Simeon and Levi in the book of Genesis chapter 48 and 49. The Bible says that Jacob had 12 sons, and among them was a girl by name Dinah. And one day they were dwelling in Shechem, and one of the young men in Shechem, his father was a Hivite. He saw Dinah, she was so beautiful, and then he tried to sleep with her, but she wouldn't allow it, so he raped her. And when he raped her, he loved her, and so he came with his father and the elders of the land to meet with Jacob and to plead with Jacob, and then ask for the rights that they were going to pay to take Dinah as his wife. And when they came to Jacob, Jacob said to them, well, I can't say anything now. Wait until my sons are back home, and then we will decide on what to do. When they came back, the Bible says Simeon and Levi gave them a condition. The condition was that all the elders of the land, all the men of the land must circumcise themselves. So because they were willing to marry Dinah, the Bible says all of them, the men, went in and circumcised the foreskin. They cut off their foreskin. While they were in the pain of the circumcision, Simeon and Levi took their sword and entered the camp and began to butcher these helpless men that were in pain. What they didn't know was that as soon as these men circumcised themselves, they became part of the Abrahamic covenant by the mark. Killing them was like killing the seed of Abraham, and God was angry with Simeon and Levi. And in Genesis 49, their father looked at them and he said, Simeon and Levi, you are instruments of cruelty. He said, cursed be thy anger. And how many of you know that it was that same anger that hindered Moses from entering the promised land? Moses was from the tribe of Levi. God used marks for recognition and identification. Marks are very, very powerful. Marks are actually sign language. For those of you that are still students, the proof that you pass the paper is that they will put a mark on it. When they mark it this way, it means you score. When they mark X, it means you fail. In other words, repeat again. Ladies and gentlemen, marks are so deadly. Marks are powerful, and at the same time, they are very deadly. There are some families that are carrying the mark of premature death. I suddenly began to observe. Some time ago, I began to observe about my family. The young men were just dying. Every year, a young man must die, and they will bring the corpse home to bury. This thing kept happening and happening. And then I also observed that even me, I was having threats of sudden death over my life. I was escaping deaths. Sometimes run into armed robbers. The other time they put gun on my head and they say, bring the money. I say, I'm a pastor, I don't have money. They say, you are pastor? I say, yes. Okay, pastor, sleep for there, wait for us. When they finished their operation, they brought out money and they put in my hand. They say, pastor, take. When you go, tell them that we gave you transport, as if it was their money. Threats of death. On another occasion in 2004, I was traveling to Gombe to preach for Apostle Dollar, and then armed robbers opened fire. Then Gombe had no airport. You're going to Gombe, you have to hit the road. Jos Airport wasn't functioning. It's either you fly into Abuja and then hit the road all the way to Gombe. Supernaturally, something happened. I got the ticket. I sat on the bus. The ticket was seat number 32. It was by the window. I didn't like window. And then the man that sat by 31, my neighbor, his body work was showing that he wanted to sit by the window. And then I asked him, I said, sir, it's like you want to sit by the window. He said, actually, the window is my favorite. I said, okay, let's exchange. I didn't know it was an exchange of debt. When we took off around Lokoja and Abachi, armed robbers blocked the road and we were the first to run into them. They spread over 40-50 bullets on that bus, and suddenly I saw people dropping. People were just dropping. The man that took my seat, bullet entered him at the chest and came out through the back. The driver narrowly escaped them, and then he on the light and was saying, check your neighbor, check your neighbor. The man was like this. I was asking, are you all right, sir? Are you okay, sir? He didn't answer me a word. I had something pouring on the ground. I thought the man was urinating. When I looked very well, it was blood that was gushing out. Bullet entered him and came out, and the man died at the spot. Satan calculated it for me, but mercy. Before I knew what was happening, they snatched life out of my sister. We used to have 2 girls in the family. We lost the 2 of them. Just like that. They would just fall sick, and before you know what is going on, they are gone. And then my younger brother escaped death twice. One time he was on top of a Okada, and then the vehicle knocked them. Him and the Okada went and fell inside the gutter. He was lifeless. People gathered, they were crying. He was lifeless for a while. After a while, he opened his eyes and sat up and was asking everybody, what happened, what happened, what happened? He had a cut on his head and blood was gushing out, but he didn't die. On another occasion, he was in a keke naped, and then one vehicle carried them and crashed them somewhere. The owner, the one that was driving the keke naped, died at the spot, but nothing happened to him. It became very clear to me that there is a mark of death on this family. And then we began to pray. I began to pray. I began to pray. I began to pray. I began to pray. How did I cancel that mark? 2 years ago during Jubilee, I think that was 2016, during Jubilee, I came in late. As a matter of fact, I arrived on a Sunday. I went into the office, greeted Papa, and then I put an envelope on the table. I didn't tell Papa why. In my mind I had prayed and I told God, let this mark of sudden death be removed from my family. From that day till today, no threat of death on any member of the family. From then till today, this is about 20 to 3 years now, we have not buried any young man, and we will not bury any young man, because I ran to the altar that is bigger than the altar that was wasting people. I pray for somebody here. Any mark of premature death, any mark of sudden death upon your family, if your amen can be the loudest, we remove that mark from your life. We remove that mark from your body. We remove that mark from your body. Let me hear that amen 3 times. Let no man trouble me, for I bear in my body the mark of Jesus Christ. There is the mark of Jesus Christ. There is a mark of sudden death. There is a mark of poverty. There is a mark of disappointment. There is a mark of frustration. Some years ago, 2006 to be precise, I traveled to South Africa. I had a conference in South Africa. And then when I arrived to Johannesburg, they were searching our bags. I used to carry expensive shoes those days. I had some expensive shoes in my bag because I was to preach for 4 days, and then I had other meetings, so I had some good suits in my bag. And when they opened my bag and were going through it, I believe they saw some of the stuff in my bag. And then the guy asked me, he said, "Where did you get these shoes?" I said, "Oh, I bought them in Nigeria." He said, "Oh, they are beautiful shoes." I said, "Thank you." And then he locked my bag, he closed my bag, and he asked me to go. But he marked my bag with something like a white chalk. Marked it. And as we proceeded, I observed that anyone that was carrying a white mark on their bags, the security would tell them this way. They would take them into a particular room. They will search them, search their bags, search their body, search everything. But I also noticed that some people were not searched. So I observed that the ones that were stopping had marks on their back. When I look at my bag, I also saw the mark on my bag. I removed handkerchief from my pocket. I put saliva on it and I wipe out the mark. When it got to my turn, they didn't see any mark. They allowed me to pass. Tonight, any mark on your life that makes you vulnerable to satanic attack, that makes you vulnerable to satanic harassment, anywhere you go, you become a prime target because of the mark on your life. If your amen can be the loudest, that mark is wiped out by the blood of Jesus. We wipe it out by the blood. We wipe it out by the blood. We wipe it out by the blood. In the name of God the Father, God the Son, God the Holy Ghost. Say with me, Lord, in the name of Jesus, any evil mark, mark of failure, mark of struggle, mark of disappointment, mark of sudden death upon my family, upon my life, by the blood of Jesus, I remove that mark. I remove those marks. I remove those marks. I remove those marks. Open your mouth and pray. 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 Is somebody praying at all? Pray. Remove the mark. Remove the mark. Remove it. Somebody remove it. Thank you, Father. In the name of Jesus, let me hear that amen 3 times. Cain said, this cause is too much for me to bear. Let it be that whoever comes across me should just kill me. Let me die and go. But God said, not so fast. If anyone kills you, Cain, I will avenge your death on them 7 times. Moreover, I will put a mark on your life. You will be immune from premature and sudden death. Anywhere you go, whoever wants to kill you, it won't work. In other words, if Cain were to be in an aircraft and it crashed, Cain will still not die, because there is a mark of immunity God put on him that says you won't die until you serve your punishment. If Cain were to be in a car and there is a crash and everybody dies, Cain will still not die. Why? Because he has been marked to live. Ladies and gentlemen, if demonic marks can be that powerful, how much more the mark of Jesus Christ? The marks I'm talking about, they are invisible to mortals, but very visible to demons, to angels, to God, and to Satan. Some people are not even aware that they are carrying invisible marks on their lives. How do I know if there are marks on my life? Some, it's the mark of witchcraft. Anywhere they go, witches have a way of identifying them. Anywhere they go, anywhere they run to, witches have a way of recognizing them, because there is a mark of witchcraft they are carrying. Marks attract. They can either attract angels or attract demonic presence. Now this is hearing what I'm saying here. You either attract angelic presence or demonic presence. How do I know if there is a mark on my family? Look at your family very well. What is that common problem that everybody in the family seems to be suffering? Some is sudden death. Some is that they can't just marry. Everybody in the family, including those that married, ended up becoming single. A lady was 43 and there was no husband. She prayed and prayed and prayed and got tired of prayer, and she came for a deliverance service like this. And while they were praying for her, she fell down, and some devils were struggling inside her to come out. And then the clothes she was putting on got up, and there was a writing on her back, on her waist region. The writing was the name of a man, Richard. And when she calmed down, the man of God asked her, which mark did you put on your waist? She said, oh, it's a name of the man that dated me. We loved ourselves so much that I wrote his name on my waist, and he wrote my name on his chest, tattoo. They made a covenant never to leave each other. wasn't too long, things didn't work out. As at this time, the guy in question had married 3 times. Married the first one, it didn't work out. Married the second one, it didn't work out. Married the third one, it didn't work out. Why? He had branded himself with Rose on his chest, and Rose has branded herself with Richard on her waist. The mark said, you will not marry any other person except Rose or Richard. They branded themselves. After a series of prayer and breaking the yoke and wiping away the evil marks, the yoke was broken. She became free, and even Richard, wherever he was, he became free. Marks are very deadly, and marks are also very powerful. Tonight, for the sake of time, there are different types of marks. Different. If there is the mark of Christ, then there is a witchcraft mark, there is a marine mark, there is the mark of disappointment. That one says, no matter the promise they make to you, it must end up in disappointment, because there is a mark of disappointment. Am I talking to somebody here? Yesterday I was praying with some people here, and I saw with the eyes of the Spirit the case of a lady that they put marks on her body in the name of curing her of Obanje, and they put marks on her life. What are those marks for? They are a seal for marine covenants. And then you see an innocent child growing up, commanding some strange demonic presence around him, not knowing that they put on him some satanic marks on his body. If God can mark his own, Satan also marks his own. Tonight's assignment is very simple. Any mark on your life that is not the mark of Jesus Christ, it shall be rooted out of your body. I like that, amen. It shall be rooted out of your life. It shall be rooted out of your body. That mark of divorce, that mark of miscarriage, that mark of premature death, that mark of struggle is hereby removed from your life. Let me hear that, amen, like a thunder. There is a mark of ownership. Say, this one is mine. I own this one. No matter where she goes, no matter where he goes, he belongs to me. God told Moses, he said, tell my children to slaughter the lamb and use the blood to put a mark on their doorpost. He said, tonight the angel of death will visit the land. And he said, anywhere I see the mark, I will pass over. But anywhere there is no mark of blood, they will cry in that house. Any mark on your home that is not from God. You know, there are houses people live in that carry demonic marks. They carry occultic marks, occultic symbols. People back into those houses without even knowing. They move in, but after a while, they can't even pay rent anymore. The business goes down. The man loses his job. Money is no longer coming in. He is now selling his properties. Today he will sell his DSTV decoder and the dish. Tomorrow he's selling the DVD. Another time he's selling his television. Gradually he's selling his furniture just to feed, not knowing that he's living in a house that has been marked by witchcraft. Am I talking to somebody here? A son of mine in church, we had a 14 days prayers in church last 2 weeks, praying every day in church. And this son of mine came to me. He's one of the worship leaders in church, and he said to me, Papa, the house where I live is my uncle's house. He's not even in Nigeria, he's in America. But there are some strange happenings in that house. He said sometimes they will pump water in the tank. The water will overflow. They will go and off the pumping machine. The next day, without any leakage, the water will dry up from the tank. He says sometimes you feel the presence of someone in the house. They just walk and pass. He said about 3 tenants have packed out. Their money did not expire, but they just left. And he said everyone that lives in that house is a 3-bedroom flat, about 4 flats. He said anyone that lives in any of those flats complain. At night they don't sleep. Sometimes you cook soup, and then by the time you wake up in the morning, you see charcoals inside the pot of soup, and there is no charcoal. You didn't use firewood, you use gas to prepare your soup. Strange happening. So some tenants literally run away from the house. And he said to me, Papa, I can't run away. It's my uncle's house. He has not been to Nigeria for over 20 something years. He sent money, they bought this land. He sent money, they built this house for him. He has not even been here to spend the night here. But there's this strange presence. And then we began to pray. On the 12th day of our prayer, God revealed something to me. The land where they built the house, the original owner of the land was murdered on that land. So they sold the land to this man, and this man bought the land and built a house. So the presence of the owner that was murdered, get me water, get me any drink that look like blood, and get me a bottle of oil. We prayed on it, and at the end of the 14 days prayer, I told him, mix it and go to the house, anoint the gate, anoint the 4 corners of the house, anoint everywhere in the house, stand in the middle of your flat, that he will not prosper.